job at one that didn't squirrel. Sorry, I was finally setting up the. So we weren't live on Twitch or YouTube,
I know.
but because I thought I was going to fall asleep.
Fair enough.
But I'm pretty awake now.
Y'all, please tap aggressively so we can get some oppies. Because I have
Mm,
another dad joke, if I'm left.
mm.
It's for meeting goals, right? That's the new rule. Think Kiara's gonna make it back? Can she find her way back? Kiara, go towards the sound of my voice. Ren?
Let me crop this a little bit. I think this was the Caleb that that they paid to kick last time, so I can't. I told you this already, bud. You gotta wait until tomorrow. Mhm.
Wait, does Kiara have a new account or suddenly we not friends? That doesn't make any sense to me, but I had to refollow you.
Could be a
Kiara,
glitch.
are you doing that thing where you're drunk unfollowing people? Because ouch, man, ouch. It's probably a glitch though, because I'm having trouble with my mod powers lately too.
Mm, yeah, that's a no for me. Absolutely not. Someone with Kamala as their username and a blue heart
Oh.
asking to be let up. You have to come with a better username. All right. So yeah, make sure you guys are doing your daily heart meet. It costs 1 point and it helps boost the live and push it into the algorithm and helps us get better ops. Because they've been kind of subpar. We still have 150 left in our daily goal. We didn't hit our goal yesterday. We were off by quite a bit. And I did not go live the previous day because funeral / MySpace died. So we're a little behind this week, but that's okay. That's totally cool.
I'm allowed to do a 5-minute dad joke set if we hit that live goal. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing.
Fine.
I have to prepare. Oh my God.
Yes, you're gonna need some more material.
Obviously, it'll be due tomorrow, right? Because that was a terrible option for me. Make a 5-minute set. That's not easy with dad jokes. It's like 400 dad jokes. Unless it's the Kenny Loggins one, which is hilarious. Hey, Alina.
Oh God.
Hey, Alina. Oh, damn it. I thought you were going to let me dad joke it again. Hey, guy.
Oh, hi, I'm sorry. I want to show you guys what I'm doing right now.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was brought up on the panel.
You
I'm work.
requested.
Right now, I'm just multitasking right now. Saturday, doing man things, organizing one of my work trucks,
Oh,
and like
God.
organizing all these screws. It's my
For your
workers.
missions, your mercenary missions.
No, not mercenary missions. My workers leave.
That's another truck.
That is another truck, correct? Just my employees leave things in such disarray that every once in a while I have to, go back and like really
It's
like
because
clean
you
it
don't
up.
pay them enough.
That's not true. I pay above market prices. I'm actually very generous.
Probably still not enough.
How many female employees do you have, guy?
Zero.
Yeah, that tracks.
I bet it's because the specific industry that it's,
Construction?
yeah, construction, but it's more like,
10% is female. I mean.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Are you drunkies? What's going on?
What did you
Are you
say?
drunkies today?
No, not at all. This is Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Are you drunkies?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I slept in, ordered pizza, and now I'm just doing some busy work. But actually, in Haiti, I did employ uh, female Haitian security contractors to work with other women, and they actually were actually some of the better drivers, ironically enough. No,
Well, it's
no,
not
no offense.
ironic because women are known to be better drivers.
Are they really?
Yeah, we're safer. We get into less accidents.
Is
We're
that
less reckless with other people's lives.
does that
Unfortunately, the safety standards aren't about us. They're modeled after men's bodies, which is really, really unfortunate for us.
does that reflect like insurance prices? I don't know. It's a genuine
Yeah.
question. It does.
How do you not know stuff? I feel like you should know this one.
I probably should know this one.
Yeah. So you just
But
came up to show us your tools?
no, I came up to hang out with you guys. I'll turn off my camera though.
Okay.
And how are your Saturdays going?
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy to hear it.
Made some fun ramen. Going to do a Warhammer Live with Atheists later and hang out with the pup.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, he's a sleepy boy. This
What
guy.
is a Warhammer Live? Explain that to me, please.
Warhammer is a universe that's far too complex to describe right now. I'll send you some details, or if you want to join the live, that's cool. Sorry, Tia, I'm sorry, but look at the puppy.
Oh man, what kind of dog is that?
He's
Can't let her make it.
Harley. He's a German Shepherd.
He's an angel, like all dogs.
The cutie patootie. Anyway, what's up, Cloud?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, Cloud. Alina, do you not like the fact that I was a mercenary for much of my adult life?
Doing so well.
Does anyone like the fact that you're a mercenary?
Yeah, a lot of people did. What do you think a mercenary does?
Missions in
Genuine.
countries that we don't belong in.
They drive Mercedes Benzes.
What does that mean that they don't belong in? Like, who gets to decide if they belong there or not?
The people of that country.
Right. So if the people of that country hire somebody to come and provide, security consultation, is that not the people of that country? I never did a government contract, by the way. I only did private, meaning me.
So it's not the people of that country, is it? The
It is,
people
yeah,
of a
yeah.
country is like not private industry. Private industry is not the people of the country.
No, it's so
That's
like
like
for
saying
example,
Amazon, it represents the people of the country.
so
Well,
no, so in Haiti, for example, Haiti has five oligarch families, and I was employed by one of them. These are Haitian people. These are
And
people
why
of
is
the
that?
country.
Why is Haiti have five oligarch families?
That's a long, sordid history. Do you want me to bore
Hmm.
you with it?
Just
No,
one
I know the
sentence to stay in
history.
America and on topic. God damn it.
It wasn't because of the United States, though. Like, there's a lot of reasons there. Um,
Mhm.
like, we can go to history from when they took independence from
Did I
the
say that
front.
only the United States gets involved in countries they don't belong in? I don't remember saying that.
You didn't.
Do you disagree with the background?
what happened?
Do you
I'm just
disagree with the
I'm just
background?
getting to talk because I that's all. I'm just being polite, and waiting to talk.
No, but guys just like chilling here. So, like, do you want to engage?
Lanati, it's buxom power line in the shade Hush Hush Henna.
Oh, I do love that
And it
one.
has like what's nice about it is it's got like it's like a thick enough like liner that you can like easily line all your lips if you wanted to just do it all one color. And then it also comes with like a little blending brush on the other side.
By the way, Warhammer, cool as hell. I just wanted to. I had questions about your. I guess this is a prompt at the top. The USA doesn't like women.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I mean,
Okay. Why
um,
not?
go ahead.
No,
I
why
mean,
not?
well, I think a lot of people they'll take the example of when Roe v. Wade got overturned. It wasn't really the government attacking women. It was when the government saying that they didn't have the power to make the decision.
True. Do you understand the Dobbs decision, and do you understand the prerequisites behind how all this happened?
Well, yes, I do. But what I'm saying is that when it got back to the court,
Does every state have a choice?
yeah, every state has. There's out of the 50 states, 49 of them have
No,
some form.
no. Many of them,
Of,
about half, don't have citizen-initiated ballot measures or referendums, so people don't get to vote.
And a lot of them had trigger laws in place, which means
Exactly.
that like there wasn't even like a time frame for them to like get anything together, even if they did have the citizen initiated like ballot measures.
And the states always
Those
had
laws just went in
power.
place.
Like that's why Roe v. Wade was even a thing. States always had some kind of power, but what we lost was the federal protection. So it wasn't given back to the states or given up to us for choice. We simply lost the protection.
Well, what the overturning of Roe v. Wade was them saying that
I'm
the
sorry?
problem the problem, and I have no issue with you have Roe v. Wade being active or not active. I'm just using the term. Uh, a lot of women use that as oh, they were attacking women when they
I
were.
think the fact that you don't have an issue with it is kind of the problem, and saying that if you're if this is like a benign issue for you, if this is something that you are lackadaisical about, if you don't care about this, it's half the population, man. And this is
Well,
our
no, no.
corporeal selves.
Well, it's not that I don't have a problem with it. What I'm saying is that a lot of the states you still have the ability to have it in.
About half the states you don't.
Actually, about 48 of the states there have emergency circumstances.
Do you understand that EMTALA has already been challenged and emergency circumstances? It isn't something that's concrete. So most of them are just considering when you become unstable, which means that you're going into septic shock. That is not how we do medicine. We do not respond to emergencies like that. Like pregnancy is complicated and it's
I know my wife almost died twice in pregnancy.
so why would you do this to women if you
I,
know that?
well, no, I'm not doing anything to women.
Yes, you are. By not giving a fuck, you absolutely are.
Well, I didn't say I didn't give a bleep. What I said was is if and you're twisting what I'm saying.
I'm not.
So well, if you let me
I'm
talk.
listening carefully and I'm
Yeah.
hearing misogyny that's laced within your words. But go
Well,
ahead. I
I'm
won't
sorry.
interrupt
I'm
you.
sorry you feel that that's the way I'm talking, but I'm not because I have a daughter and I'm very protective of my daughter and I protect my wife's rights as much as possible. But on the
You
same
care
note,
more about saying like fuck than you do her rights. That's crazy. Archer, I would like you to know that Mao is trying to enter the plastic bag that the carrier came in instead of the carrier, which is bananas. This cat will not
Can
survive.
I ask what state you live in, Cloud?
I live in New York.
Okay, so you.
Oh, that's
That's
why.
fine. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Well,
Mm. Fuck
Like I live
everyone
in
else.
Texas where they have bounty laws on us and they're
what's
trying to pursue New York doctors for even prescribing mifepristone and misoprostol. So I mean, yeah, I understand that you don't see the impact as much.
that might be very much the case. Um, but and that might be me not seeing your issue in full light. I guess a better way of putting it. Is that a fair way to say it?
Sure. I mean, just for
Um,
example, and I don't expect you to know this by any means, but number
oh,
one,
that's a cute kitty.
Texas actually stopped reporting on maternal mortality and infant mortality because of the Dobbs decision in the last 2 years. We also had, within about a year and a half of that decision, over 65,000 confirmed women who had to go through pregnancy after being raped. That's after a year and a half. So women are being forced, after being assaulted, to have children. And I just don't know how that's not a bigger deal with people.
How many people?
It was 65,000 in January of 2023. I'm sorry, 2024.
Over how many years?
A year and a half.
Okay.
And
I'm
those are
just
just
looking at an
confirmed.
analytical. I mean, you guys are asking me to change my viewpoint on something, so I'm trying to understand.
Not necessarily. We're just asking, like, if you don't, if you think USA likes women, why? Because you brought up Roe v. Wade, and I think that's a good example of them
Yeah.
at least not caring about us very much.
Well, I would say that I think what people are missing in that is that, and I think Roe v. Wade was probably one of the worst cases to go after, um, to execute what they were trying to prove, which is that the federal government overextended their rights onto the states. And this is probably not the best case to do that on, because it is so controversial. But the there are Supreme Court rulings that where the Supreme Court has overextended their rights past the states where they shouldn't have, and that was also by overturning it was a landmark to say, hey, maybe we are exerting too much power on the states. Was it a bad choice? Probably. Um,
Let me ask you this. What law exists that limits your ability to who limits your access to bodily autonomy?
Uh, the conscript. I have to be enrolled for war and be willing to
Okay.
be drafted from the age of 18 to 45.
Hey, when's the last time a draft happened?
That's inconsequential. If a
It's
Aging
war,
not
Thicky in
inconsequential.
3, 2, 1.
He already here.
I
He
knew it.
already here. He
I
already
knew
here.
it.
that's a terrible
Come on
argument.
up, Thicky. I know you want to.
That's not a terrible argument.
Oh, I will allow Nicholas to take this.
You can take it all you want to, but
I'll let Nicholas explain to you why what you just said is idiotic.
okay. Well, I didn't call you an idiot, and that's not nice.
She didn't call you an
You
idiot. She said what you
idiot.
said was idiotic. That's
Yeah.
different.
So who created the draft? Just for clarification, men or women?
The government did.
Right. And who's been controlling the government by and large, men or women?
Men,
Okay. So why did we only require men to go into selective service?
because they're typically better fitted for combat.
Incorrect. I'd love you to provide me a source for that, given that I highly doubt you've ever actually been to combat. But why would we only say that men are required to go into selective service and not women?
I don't know. You educate me. You're the
Could
one.
it possibly be because the government thought that the women's place was in the home and nowhere else, therefore making it actually harder for women to do that sort of thing and play their part?
I don't know. I think that's a pretty off base argument.
Not, not really. No, it's pretty easy to like connect those dots together.
Okay, if you're going to connect those dots, then they should overturn how the draft works, and they should let women be in the draft then too.
Okay. Like, what? Okay. I mean, it's not something we've used in a very long time. It's really just an insurance policy. Considering the only people that are trying to actively get rid of the draft are generally people on the left. I don't really think this is the argument you think it is.
But you distinctly asked me a question and this is what Rapture asked me. She distinctly asked me a question saying,
Yeah, there are no laws that directly only like affect you.
I mean, are you
Correct.
telling me that if a war happened tomorrow and I had to
Have
go and
you
fight
wait
and
wait
die,
hey Cloud
that my bodily
Cloud
autonomy has been protected?
Cloud
No, it hasn't.
Cloud it wouldn't you wouldn't be required to enlist.
That's what a draft is.
You wouldn't be required to enlist if a war popped off tomorrow. You wouldn't be. Were you
If
required? Hold on. Were you required to enlist on September 12th, 2001?
No, because there was no draft.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So
I
then,
mean, there
if a
was no
war
draft.
popped
Your
off
argument makes
tomorrow,
no sense. Your
if a war
argument makes
popped
no
off
sense. Just
tomorrow,
what we're
you would
talking about.
not be required to enlist. We have an all-volunteer military.
Right.
So,
You're
have you
right.
ever been
There's
in
an
it?
all.
Have you ever
It
been
is
in it, Cloud? Cloud, have you ever been in it?
in what?
The military.
I'm a father. My father was in the
I
military.
didn't ask if your father did. I asked if you did.
Don't disrespect me. You're yelling
I'm
at
gonna
me right
disrespect
now.
the fuck out of you if you
Lower
don't
your tone.
understand the
Lower your
question.
tone. Lower your tone. I didn't
Go
curse
fuck
at you.
yourself, dude.
Lower your tone. What are you, a simp? Stop it.
No, I'm somebody that did serve, so I don't give a fuck about what your father did. I'm asking you if you did, motherfucker.
Hey, don't cuss at me.
I'm gonna continue to fucking do it. You'll fucking
He doesn't
survive.
like the F word.
Don't cuss at me. I
You're
wasn't rude
gonna
to you.
you're gonna cry about it, baby doll. Go fuck
No,
yourself.
go ahead.
I'll
You do your
fucking curse
thing.
all I want. You'll fucking survive.
Yeah, you sound like a real butthead right now.
Okay.
Not a butthead.
You sound like a fucking toddler.
Okay.
So again, unless you are actually going to like address what I'm saying, and you're just gonna throw a fit about like being
No,
personal.
I answered your question. I said to
No,
you.
you didn't.
Oh, okay. I'm
Again,
sorry. I
I
didn't
asked
answer the
you,
question the
have
way you
you
wanted me to
ever
answer the
served?
question because you're stupid.
Have you ever served?
No, I haven't served.
Okay, then. So again, you weren't required to enlist on September 12th, 2001.
Correct,
So
because
if
there
a
was
war
no
popped off
draft.
tomorrow, if a
Because there was
war
no
popped
draft.
off tomorrow, you would not be required to enlist.
Because there was no draft.
Correct. When was the last time we used the draft?
We used the draft during the Vietnam War last time.
And we haven't touched it since, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So probably.
So you're
not
telling me
anything that happens.
if
So
a war
again,
popped off tomorrow,
there is no law that affects you. Also, if a war popped off tomorrow and they were like, "Hey, you have to enlist," all you literally have to say is, "I'm a conscientious objector," and you don't go in. In fact,
Yeah, they throw you in jail then.
when you signed that selective service sheet, there was actually a block on it that you could have just checked that said conscientious objector. You literally could have done that to avoid being drafted. So, no, there's not really a law that directly impacts you or me, and in the same way that it impacts women. There's none.
Sure. So, what law directly impacts women now about the bodily autonomy? Because Roe v. Wade is no longer on the books.
Have you not been? Do I need to mansplain to you the things that have already been said?
Probably.
I'm just asking you at a federal level, what law has
Have you?
affects women's bodily autonomy now? There's no law
Oh,
in
so it has to
place.
be a federal law now. Are we moving goalposts? Should I go get a
I'm
shovel?
saying
And start digging some up?
there's also mental health concerns that affect everybody. I mean, what are you talking about?
Hi, you're talking to somebody with complex PTSD. I'm fully aware of mental health concerns, but that's
I can
neither here
tell.
nor
I
there.
can tell.
That's neither here nor there, buddy, and that's not a road you want to go down. But if we're gonna move goalposts like that, probably you should actually fucking state that at the beginning. But I mean, Donald Trump's trying to pass the fucking Safe Act with a executive order, so we could just point at that. Yeah, there are things at a federal level. Also, you might want to have mod down in the comments, mute that person. Yeah, no, there's a fuck ton of laws at the state level that impact women, but again, there's nothing on the books that impacts men.
I mean, just saying there are and not stating anything makes it sounds like horseshit.
There are no laws that impact men in the same way that they impact women.
Not the S word.
Oh no, the S word.
There are none. The draft doesn't impact you. It's not going to impact you. You literally could have just checked the block saying conscientious objector, and you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to go in. People in Vietnam did that, as a matter of fact. That's how people. That's how people didn't go to Vietnam.
Mm.
In the 80s, didn't they also change the law where you can't actually put someone in prison for being a draft dodger?
It's still a $250,000 fine and up to 7 years in prison.
Weird how the president didn't do that.
So anyway, you are equating. Think about what you're saying.
I know what I'm talking about. And
hold on.
Okay, I'll just keep getting holding on and yelled at. Go ahead.
I'm not yelling at you. I mean, I can if you like me to, but I don't want to. Would you like me to yell at you?
It seems like you guys are just coming at me, but go ahead.
I'm not yelling at you.
I asked for discernment and understanding, and you guys come at me and attack me, and there's a big difference.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think discernment means what you know what, never mind. Anyway, you are equating going to the draft and having to go to war and being pregnant. You're putting them on equal footing. You don't see how should pregnancy be war?
No, pregnancy shouldn't be war. Pregnancy should be a natural thing.
Important to note really quickly that pregnancy is actually more dangerous than being an active duty military member. It's about the 6th most dangerous job in America if you were to categorize it that way. Also, when you get drafted to war, you get fucking paid and lifelong health care. Women are charged. They are at a deficit for having children.
Yep. So you get a group of people who can't have the babies, and men created the draft laws, right? Men created the rules that you have to live by, and then men also removed women's bodily autonomy. So tell me again how men aren't the problem. Aw, he teacupping. Wah, wah, wah.
Who decided that we were going to bring back those?
What did you just say?
Those headband things that made our scalps bleed.
I mean, I'm gonna. If you guys aren't gonna have a nice civil debate, I'll just walk away. Please have a good day.
Wow, we were still talking to you. You teacupped.
No, I just went to go use the bathroom, but that's fine.
Okay.
I'm
That's
Why
good.
didn't you
cool.
say something? We're having a conversation with you. Like, why would you just like not say something?
He wanted to run. That's all it was. He just wanted to give an excuse why he was running and try to blame us. You could have just left. You didn't even have to say anything. You could have just left.
I got in the comments.
All right.
Okay, thank you. He really didn't want to talk to Thicky. Okay,
Me this whole time. Damn it.
when you guys look at me, what do I look like? A bunny rabbit, a tiger, a panda, a giraffe? What's the vibe? There's no panther.
Bunny slash tiger.
That's not. It's either one or the other.
I'm pivoting to run.
I was gonna say a bunny.
Okay.
Z's. Oh, he left. Okay. What is wrong with folks?
Weirdos. Like very weird dudes.
Ooh, um, Joy sent $10 saying if anyone want a sub, go to Twitch right meow. We dropped a lot of subs on Twitch, so I think Joy's gonna gift a sub. Thank you, Joy.
Hey guy, you should go subscribe on Twitch, Jolena.
Mm.
I've fallen asleep on us.
I think I figured out stream elements.
Theory? Or what do you mean?
No, stream elements to use with OBS to be able to.
Oh, stream. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. And you know, there's a stream together option on Twitch, right, Elena?
Mhm. Yeah.
So.
For those of you guys asking, I'm looking at like those little spa headbands, and they're animal themed.
Annie, you're welcome to come up here and have the conversation if you would like us to explain how the USA does not like women.
Be a total dingleberry. Just stay down there.
Damn.
Swearing like that last guy. It just sounds silly to not actually swear.
Well, he said shit. So
Butthead too, which I thought was really edgy. And he called Thickless a simp, which was primo.
I don't understand the whole obsession with calling men simps.
Yeah, it's dumb. Like, if you use the word simp, number one, I'm not attracted to you. And number two, it's like, when did just like respecting women as a whole make you a simp?
Yeah.
Care to weigh in? You know the men folk.
I think he did fall asleep
Max?
because he's not capable of being this quiet. Let's be real.
Why not?
Mm. Anyhow, if you guys disagree with the background, if anyone disagrees and thinks that the USA does like women, please request.
Get how someone like says, I don't really think that's the case that the USA doesn't like women, and then brings up Roe v. Wade immediately. Like, how do you think that's not problematic? I don't know, man. It's really disappointing every time. Never gets old.
Especially like after everything that's happened. It's like, what can you
It's like the
really
total
say after
lack of.
everything that's been happening?
I just don't know how they still look at women and girls and their moms and shit like that, and they're like, oh, everything's totally fine. Like, they don't. Come on. I'm gonna need y'all to tap really hard and do some gifties and some sherries. Like I've got bloodlust. I haven't had anything
That
tasty.
you were gonna say, I thought you were saying that you have blood loss. I was like, you should probably go to the hospital.
Well,
Are you okay?
bloodletting's a thing for me, absolutely. But either way, help support. Please God. I had pent up anger today.
Y'all, everyone's gonna be so surprised when my Mr. Softy truck rolls up on my birthday. It's gonna be a time. Welcome, Hector Reed. Welcome, welcome.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Hello. What is happening?
This is why we don't, I don't know who accepted that, but this is why we don't accept people that say rise me or let me
Yeah,
up.
I didn't let them up.
Yeah. It's like that every time. They demand to be let up.
Yeah,
It's
never. Hey, Xena.
always a kid or a bigot.
Like, I have 32 coins, Ren has 29. I don't even know how many Alina has, but the struggle is real, y'all. If we don't have something to nibble on and we don't have coins, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna tell so many bad dad jokes, you're never gonna
No.
want to hear one again.
Mm.
You're gonna start with the dad jokes, and Alina is gonna control or delete us.
Mm-hmm.
I will self-destruct everything.
Big W to Joy over on Twitch, gifting 5 Twitchies over there, a sub. Make sure you guys thank Joy for the gifted subs. We're trying to get back to the good graces that we were over on Twitch. I'm about to start doing some strange things over there with the Twitchies. Oh, Mr. Chaos says Hector Raid, but also he likes to bully. That doesn't sound like Hector. I don't know about that. Afghanistan. Nothing else. Just Afghanistan. Okay.
Here's something.
Guy's asleep, y'all. Like he's asleep.
Sit there, he'll be fine.
This is the most enjoyable time we've had.
Like, low key, seriously. Hey, new wages? Maybe?
Yeah.
You disagree with the background?
Yes, I disagree.
Okay, why?
Well, I'm very happy the United States doesn't like women. Because women like you are the one causing problem in the United States. You women are liberal.
Hey,
We
hey,
need
where are you from?
You were
conservative people.
liberal.
Where are you from?
Simple.
Where are you
I'm
from?
from Nigeria. I live in the United States. So don't. You are too liberal, eh? We don't want women like you. I'm very happy the US doesn't like you. Simple, eh? You have no power. You're nobody in the political arena. We
Do you
men,
think
we
that
run the
do you
world.
think that the laws that affect us don't affect conservative women too?
Exactly, but it affects you more. You are the one always crying on the internet, always crying about Elon
No,
Musk.
it doesn't affect us more. It affects us exactly the same.
Well, it affects you more. You are the one, you are always on the internet complaining about Trump. You are always ranting like a baboon. That's it. Thank you, Donald
You
Trump,
know
for
what? I'm not even gonna go for. Normally we do the 10 minutes. I like to give them at least 10 minutes because we don't have that many ops. But like, I was not gonna do that for 10 minutes. So W Ravi, W Ravi for the baby dragon.
I'm done. Not now, but right now.
Ravi's like, I'm not even. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the rest of this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When he said liberal, I said,
Liberal. I was like, what?
person above me. Oh hell.
Yes, hi. So I disagree with your.
This is all you, Kristen, because this is your fault.
This how I didn't let Guy up. Okay, whatever. Is your name
So he came here because of you.
My name is
Rachel?
my name's Rach.
Okay, Rach. Why do you
Yeah,
disagree?
I disagree. One, we have equal rights when it comes to opportunity with careers. I'm a sales director at a large company. I was hired into that position We're able to vote. We're able to do all the same thing as men.
Cool. What about DEI? Didn't that benefit women to getting jobs?
Yeah, listen, I do agree, but there's still a lot of companies that follow DEI policy and don't align with what, Trump canceled. So it really depends on the company that you work for.
We also don't have the same opportunities in
Yeah.
the
What?
workplace.
Yes, we
We
do.
don't have the same no, we
We
don't. Because
don't.
then if we're
Absolutely
50% of
we
the
do.
population, then we would represent 50% of the CEOs if we had the same opportunities.
Okay, well, I don't think women are oppressed in America. How many colleagues of mine are women? 90%. And I work for an organization that has over 3,000 employees.
Cool. You're a
So
sales
I
rep.
Which
just wanted to
MLM
get
is it?
What?
Which MLM is it?
I'm not going to share that.
Beachbody?
What? I'm not going to share that here because
It is an MLM.
I'm not going to share my personal information of like what I do
It
for my
starts with Nutra.
but I don't think the USA doesn't like women. I completely disagree with this backdrop.
So, like, how do you account for things like the gender wage gap?
Again, like I think it really just depends. I hate to say it, and you're going to not agree with my opinion, but I really think that it
which is the one that does the
But I finish
rings
answering the
in the
question
water?
or
No.
what?
Which is the one that like they drop the rings in the water and like it's like some bubble fizz, whatever, fizz parties, something like that.
Those are fun, yeah.
Maybe it's that one.
I think it really just depends on the organization that you work for. So choose wisely. That's how I feel.
Well, you understand that there have been like a multitude of studies done, right? Where there's the same resume entered for a different job here and there, and the only fucking difference is a female perceived name versus a male perceived name, and men will actually receive offers and also
I don't think this is the right panel for me. Have a great day.
Okay, you have a good one. She crashed out quick.
I think maybe someone dropped the MLM that she was in correctly, and maybe that made her scared.
That's my phone holder. It's just it's gadget.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, because that does make sense that 90% of the employees are women if you're in an MLM.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't push back on that, so we know that was true.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Annie. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Hi. That first of all, that guy before Rach, he was crazy. He was like the epitome of what you guys are talking about. I do understand, and I agree with all of your statistics. It's just sort of like what you just said. Oh, then 50% of the CEOs would be women, right?
On her statement, based on her statement. Her statement was that we have have equal opportunities in the workplace, like equal ability. So if we had equal opportunity in the workplace, we would represent at least 50% of CEOs because the statistics show that we are actually exceeding men when it comes to education. So like we're more educated. Why wouldn't we be?
Female surgeons in particular. Female surgeons get paid significantly less across the board, and they have better they have better outcome for their patient care. So I mean, like they're discrepancies that we've tried every other thing, and it seems to only be their sex.
That makes sense. That's something that would sway me. What you said about the female surgeons. You know, I hadn't looked into that. That's the first I've heard of that. But I do disagree with the CEO thing. It's, just being as educated doesn't mean you're going to be a CEO. It takes, yes?
Women, actually, for all the things that make a good CEO, women have been proven to be better at than men.
I believe holding the position, as a woman, I believe holding the position, sure, a woman could do a better job or as good of a job, but it takes things to start a business, that crazy risk of dumping all your money into it, which is a crazy thing. And I think that in general, women are less
Do you,
prone to take.
Well, they
but
also
do you
only
think that
have
most
5%
CEOs
of
are
small
people that started the
businessmen.
business? Because the
Yeah.
CEOs, like the majority of CEOs we're talking about, are people that are usually just hired afterwards.
We're not talking
Okay.
about founder CEOs. We're talking about straight CEOs.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I'd have to look into. The reason I came in with my initial opinion, which, hasn't totally been swayed, but I am an open-minded person, is because I have never experienced that discrimination in my life. So I work in a
Are,
warehouse
are you sure
for
that
a
you never
manufacturing company.
experienced it? Or you just don't recognize it for what it is?
It might be that. It might be that I don't recognize it for what it is. But the reason that I come in with my view is because, so like I said, I work in a warehouse. We have tons of races in our warehouse. I'm the only woman. I make $2 more an hour than the majority of the people.
Annie, why are you the only woman?
I'm the only woman that's ever applied.
But don't you think that says something? Like one woman, that's it?
I mean, working in a warehouse, it's disgusting. I lift 100-pound objects on the daily.
Yeah, but like home health aides, nurses do the same thing. I mean, not the same job, obviously, but like it's also disgusting. They're also doing heavy lifting. I'm just asking
wait,
you to kind of like
I'm
look
also
at that.
confused. You lift 100-pound like items by yourself every day?
Yes.
Oh,
So
you might want to call OSHA.
Like, that's unsafe.
That's against OSHA. Anything over 50 pounds is supposed to be lifted with a partner.
They did that just because you're a woman.
I'm just trying to say how maybe I come into the topic because I have never been in my personal life discriminated against as a woman. I make just as much as everyone else does. I wasn't declined my job because I'm female. It was, here's the job description, and I do an amazing job. I run my own section, and I have never been, in any way discriminated against as a woman. So it might be something that I have to look into further. But the fact that there are any female CEOs, to me, says that we do have that opportunity. It's an opportunity, right?
Like a lie, like the way that billionaires are also like we have the opportunity to be a billionaire in capitalism, but the reality speaking is you have to typically almost exclusively be set up with generational wealth.
I agree with that 100%. It's so hard to break that gap and move into becoming a millionaire, becoming a billionaire. But I just don't see it relying on gender. But look more into what you're saying, about female surgeons. I'm an open-minded person.
Well, Annie, you sound very kind, and
but
I
I'm not.
appreciate you coming up here. We do this pretty much every day. A lot of us are on feminist panels all day, every day. So, like, if you are really interested in learning about this, please feel free to come back and ask questions too.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna follow Alina, and I'd love to look
I'm just
more
like,
into it. I'm not.
yeah, and I mean, I would love to see also the number of women CEOs and how many of them are CEOs for companies that have already made a commitment to being women-led, or that's part of their marketing and branding. Because I
And so
think
something
if
else.
without those companies, I
am
think there'd be even less women CEOs.
okay. Okay, I could see that, and obviously, I'm not saying in any way like women suck, men are better. Because I am a woman, like I'm on our team, but I think that there are differences between men and women, of course, always with outliers. And I do
What
think that the reason that I'm sorry?
What differences?
You don't think that there's any difference
I'm not
between
saying
men and
whether there
women?
is. I'm not saying whether there is or there isn't. I'm asking you. You brought it up, so I'm asking you to clarify. I'm not saying you're right, wrong, or indifferent.
Okay. I think women in general tend to have more empathy, right? And you can disagree with me on that. I think that it's harder to run an efficient business when you see people as people, right?
Wait,
Um,
wait,
and
wait.
that's an efficient business, not a better business, a good business, a wholesome business, but an efficient business.
Right? In capitalism, if we're looking only at capital, absolutely.
Right, because if someone's underperforming, but I know Sharon and she's going through a hard time and she's got 3 kids and she's always late because she has to get them to 2 different schools, I'm not going to fire Sharon because I care for her. Whereas a person with potentially less empathy and more of a mind for a business would fire Sharon, right?
And I
And
would just ask you to explore your own kind of thought process for 1 second here, because I feel like you're very smart and I'm enjoying your conversation. But you just said Sharon has to go with her 2 kids, and it's like, why is it never, Jacob doing that? Like, these are the things we're talking about when we're talking about the USA not liking women, because it's the burden that's always on us.
I think I just have women on my mind because that was what we're discussing, but it's the same thing, right? If Josh hires Johnny and Johnny is always late because he's bringing his kids back and forth to school, I don't think that Josh would hesitate to fire Johnny
How
for
many
being late.
Johnnies do that though? Like, real talk, Annie. Who do the schools
I,
always
and
call? Like, come on.
Right, and I totally understand, but then I feel like that's also discriminating against men, and not in a bad way. It's okay to be
Well,
discriminatory,
that's not
right? That's just
discriminating to understand that women typically have a societal pressure to fulfill a certain role, and thus other people treat them as so. That's not being discriminated against for the man. Like, they get paid more because of this shit.
But we're not gonna, yeah, we're not gonna speed past that though.
And,
uh,
and I
You
think
should, she said it's okay to be discriminatory.
not to discriminate against a human being, but like the definition of discriminatory, right? Like to be decisive and decide, like I don't mean to discriminate like in a mean way. Like discriminate doesn't have to mean a bad thing. Does that make sense? I wish I could use I don't have a second technology like a computer to
No,
pull up the
you're not wrong. I think the word
I
choice
wasn't
was
trying to
weird,
either.
but you're not wrong.
but here's my problem with what you're saying. It sounds like you're dancing around um what you mean. And you tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong, okay?
Okay.
You're saying that women tend to be more in tune with their feelings or emotional and empathetic, which makes them less likely to hold the line in business.
Yes, I would say that that was one example toward why I think there's more men in business than women. Like like also to when you own a company, you are now responsible for all those people that work for you.
Not
And I
really.
think okay.
I mean, have we ever, like, especially in the past year, I could think of like 3 different major layoffs that were done without any sort of concern at all for the employees.
And so what companies are those? Or just one?
Hold on. I just remember like seeing the stories on TikTok. Let me see.
Potentially Amazon?
No, I think Amazon's usually trying to reduce the amount of litigation, so they tend to give a notice.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about companies that like from one day to the next. Was it 579 or Charlotte Russe? This
Someone
one
in the
wrong.
comments keeps saying, Trump loves women. He's keeping sports safe spaces for women, and they keep blasting that. So not me giving an opinion, but asking the host and the panel, do you guys agree with Trump taking transgender people out of sports?
I think trans women are women, and I think he's an asshole.
So nothing political here, but that is one that I agree with. And again, not in a mean way. I'm not like, oh, Trump's gotta keep
Damn.
like, oh god, he's gotta keep the
comments were right. You are a turf. That's crazy.
what is that?
No, because I really thought I'm too nice. I am. It's official. I'm gonna shut him off over here.
So,
Do you know 3 trans athletes?
um, no, I just know the the swimmer that may I make a point? Just
Go ahead.
just a simple point. So there's not just basketball. There's men's basketball and women's basketball. There's not just skating, there's men's and women's. There is a difference in the sport performance. And if you look at the fastest run, the longest run, the highest jump, if you compare the fastest man and the fastest woman, the highest jumping man and the highest woman, men always take the record, right? Is that a fact or is that an opinion?
I really don't give a fuck about sports. So if someone wants to answer her, you can.
I think
I'm
that
not arguing this. Trans women are women. Trans men
I
are men.
I think that that is a very short-sighted way to have the conversation, and I don't think that it is particularly fruitful of a conversation because trans women are women, trans men are men, and it's that simple. And the slippery slope to hell that occurs when you start saying that these certain people shouldn't be in these particular areas, then you run into places where women who may, cisgendered women who may present more masculinely, and I'm saying that with air quotes, now are at the disadvantage of having to prove their genitalia for
You mean
people.
like BG?
Yes, I already knew you was gonna take that and run with it.
You know I got you, Ron.
So it is trans women are women, trans men are men, and I'm gonna say this. I said this last night, and I'm gonna say it again. There's like, how would you feel if your daughter was playing with a trans woman, playing a sport? I expect her to whoop their ass in the
Wait,
game.
I want to clarify. Who brought up Jaya?
Oh, not me. I didn't.
I thought you said if someone wants to talk to her about sports. So Drea was in the
Oh,
reply.
I was talking about you guys. It's
Oh,
fine.
my
It's
bad,
just
my
like,
bad.
remember, we're trying to keep friendlies to a small amount.
Yeah, I
'cause then,
misunderstood.
like, we have
I
one op
apologize.
because Guy is just there
Literally just
floating in whatever universe.
yeah.
Maybe he
I
fell
just
and bumped his head.
On all them.
I just hate it for them because now there's no place for them to compete.
1 second. Alina, I could drop down.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. I just want to, because like we've been having a lot of like rogue mod situations. So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't having that situation again.
Sorry,
But
I was grabbing my Amazon package and I had to give a code. I've never done that before. Felt so bad.
Can I interject briefly?
I just had one question for Annie. Sorry.
This was about the whole like sports
Yeah,
thing.
I think we just want to get off it though, honestly.
Yeah, Annie, do you know how many trans athletes there were in women's sports in grades K through 12 in 2023? Do you know how many?
I just wanted her to name me 5 WNBA players.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't.
There were 5 in the entire fucking country. There were 5. So, like, what sport do you play currently?
I played volleyball, but that's what I was saying.
Yeah, so it's
that
not an
now
issue.
there's
It's
no
not an
room
issue. It's not
for
an
them
issue.
to compete, and that is terrible. That an athlete has no league to compete in because of.
So when I was competing in powerlifting, you know what our rule book said about trans athletes?
No.
If there's anything that we can do to make you more comfortable, please contact a judge. That's the only rule in the book regarding trans people in the USBA's rule book, because they're just there to fucking compete. They're not taking anything away from anybody. They want to be left alone. That's it.
As well, Annie, can you name me 5 WNBA players?
No, I cannot.
Can you tell me what team you go to support?
I don't watch sports.
Interesting. Okay, I do, and I hate when y'all do this. Please, please, please leave women's sports out of this. I'm someone that actually goes. Go Chicago Sky!
Someone in the comments was blasting that repeatedly, and I was curious where you stand on that. Because you could have, this panel could have gone either way. Sometimes the panels that support women say we welcome transgender athletes. That doesn't bother us. And sometimes the panel says
we're not TERFs, Annie. We're not TERFs.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Transitionary radical feminist. Theo.
I got you. I'm not concerned about. I was just wondering where the panel stood. You know, because that's one that I'm not sure where I stand.
Men are men, and honestly,
No, don't backpedal now.
And
you said that you agreed with Trump on it, so
I don't care. I expect if my child is playing a sport, I expect them to whoop male, female, cat, dog, donkey. I expect them to beat their ass. That's what I expect. I train them to beat everybody. Period.
I don't know. Everyone's saying that I agreed with Trump, and I'm backtracking. I was just asking. There are a ton of female panels that stand for everything you guys stand for, and then also say this is our sport. Medals are being taken away from us by transgender athletes. I was just asking where this panel stood because I'm interested in your view. That's why I'm here. I don't necessarily agree with everything. I just wanted to know what we thought.
Then let's move on. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So what else would you like to bring to the conversation?
Nothing. I'm really interested to look into how female surgeons make less than male surgeons, and the CEOs.
But only if they're biologically female, right?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a stance on that. That's
not what you said earlier, but okay.
Listen,
maybe I spoke. That's fine.
When this issue came to the media and it was first brought to my attention, I said, why don't we just make a transgender league? Then everybody's happy. And that's when I found out how few transgender athletes there are. And
so
now
separate but equal,
no
right?
space to compete.
Separate but equal? Separate but equal, right?
Just kind of just say separate but equal. That is kind of what you said.
Okay, so is there being men's sports and women's sports? Is that separate but equal? Because it's literally
not really equal because I mean the funding for women's is pretty abysmal most of the time, and they don't get paid the same often. Also, the only reason a male and female league were created is because during a shotgun event way back in the day, a woman beat a man.
Make it rain.
And they made a whole new league because they couldn't deal with it. Like, it's stupid. Also, like, tall people are better at basketball typically. Like, why don't we have a tall league and a short league? Like, I don't understand this shit.
So I did look into female athletes being paid less, and you know, I'm torn on that one too because it has to do with viewership, but I think that men's sports are also promoted better than women's.
We market to men. We use women's bodies to market to men. We have studies, psychologically speaking, that both men and women now see women in parts because of marketing and advertising campaigns based on fucking sports and beer. Like, women are not equal in this country, and we need you to like think more critically about it, Annie, because I think you have the interest and the educational prowess to do so. But like, if you don't think that it's a problem to like continuously have separate but equal kind of thinking process, we can't help you.
Okay, well, so I'm gonna look more into it. I don't actually know how to leave the panel without canceling out of it, if you want to put me down there, but I'm gonna stay on and keep listening to the
appreciate that. Thank you.
Look into what TERF is.
JK Rowling.
She has been a disappointment of epic proportions. So body count, which that's a really disturbing name.
But that's why she does well at her job, because she's not like other girls.
Good work today.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was just checking out my hair in the mirror because I can't see shit. Thank you.
Body count?
So you guys mentioned that sports was funded due to what? Women?
For fuck's sake. Can we just focus on the actual background?
We're not discussing sports. I don't give a flying monkey fuck about sports. I don't want to discuss sports. If that's what you want to discuss, move around.
Okay, well then in what aspect doesn't the USA like women?
Aspect do you think they do?
I would say women are probably the most privileged group now in human history.
In what way?
What? That's
In what
crazy.
way? In what way?
In what way?
Mm-hmm.
In quotas, in
What
ability
quotas?
to make money,
What quotas?
put male versus female on an application, see how many responses you
Yeah,
get.
men get paid more and they get hired more and they get promoted more. Go look at the U.S.
Wait.
U.S.
Hold
Bureau
on.
of Labor Statistics, man.
Hold on.
If that were
Put
the
men
case, we
versus
would
women
only hire women.
in what app? In what app?
Put it on a job application, not a app on your phone. A job app.
So you're saying on a job application, if you say that you're a woman, you have more of a chance of getting hired.
100%.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay. Look it up.
That's not true.
Don't tap the screen.
It's 100% how it is.
Okay, so give me a source. Thanks.
I'll find one in a minute. I'll post it after I'm off.
No. I want you to go find it now. Teacup and go find it. You have a computer in your hand. Thank you.
Well, we have 373 people here. Make sure we're tapping the screen, sharing the live. We have a lot of people in here, more than usual. There's no reason why we shouldn't be at 100K likes by now. I don't want to go sub only, but we will. We also have 140 left in our goal. We've been on for over 3 hours. This is no bueno. This is no bueno. So if you have $5, consider sending it. It helps with foster kittens. It helps the Red Bull to stay up with the foster kittens. Also, make sure you're gifting the panel. They're giving their time and energy as well. Don't gift the guy because he's just a wart that we can't burn off. What if we what if we all tried to give our best guy impression?
My hair doesn't look that anime ever. Really confident about something, and let me go ahead and tell you all about every geopolitical thing. I can't do guy. No, it doesn't work. Let me workshop it.
Okay. Also, if you guys want the dad jokes, then we gotta hit the goal. So
Did he leave?
who?
Body count.
He probably timed out.
Oh, whatever. Hello, Jake. Do you disagree with the background?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I don't see an example for what one thing
Where are
that
you
women
from, Jake?
cannot do and man can.
Where are you from, Jake?
I'm not from the USA, but I believe that there is no country in the world that maybe Iran or something, but no civil country in the world that not that doesn't like women. And of course, not the USA. I really like the USA, and I probably move there. But I probably will move that when I
So,
will.
like, you're not from the USA, and you've never looked up like the gender gap statistics in countries.
The gender gap is also something that in
I'm not
my
even talking about
country
the
people
gender
are
pay
talking
gap.
about.
I'm talking about gender equality, man. Have you ever looked it up?
Yeah.
What is the
women
US
cannot
then?
do.
What number is the US?
Sorry, what?
What number is the US on the gender
In what?
equality index?
I don't know what is the gender equality index.
Exactly. You don't know because you don't care, because you haven't researched this, and you would know it's number 43. So there are 42 other countries that are doing better for women than the USA is.
I don't know who's like listing this index, and
People
anyway,
who
I
are
want to
fucking
hear.
qualified, which you are not one.
I want to hear one thing that women cannot do in the United States and men can.
We can't fucking get an abortion, man. But you
Men
also
can
don't
get an
live here,
abortion,
so I don't think you fucking actually care. I think you're just a fucking
but
incel.
how does abortion
I don't need to
has something
answer
to do
this
with it?
because you're a fucking incel and you don't live here. So what the fuck do you want?
Incel? How am I incel? Because I doesn't
Thank you
agree
so
with you.
much. W. Robbie in the
I
chat. Robbie
disagree.
sent 40, which means
I
Robbie
disagree
has
with
tipped
you.
off. Do you not hear me talking? Rude piece of shit. W. Robbie in the chat. Thank you so much, Robbie, for always taking care of our goal.
Go, Robbie. Anyway, Christine, I want to understand that you're saying I'm incel and whatever because I disagree with you, basically.
Because you haven't bothered to research this. You don't live in America, so you don't know anything about us and what our women do. And you're clearly just someone who's weird.
So I would like to know one thing that women cannot do and
Your
men
teacher.
can.
Go Google it.
So tell me one thing. You can't tell
She already
one
did.
thing.
She already did.
But no, men can't get an abortion as well.
Reproductive freedom. Men have it, women don't. There, I
What
rephrased
men
it for
have?
you. Reproductive
What men have?
freedom. Reproductive freedom.
Okay. Or like what, for example? Like an actual thing. What do you mean by reproductive freedom? Like, what can I do when you can't? That is controversial, of course.
Part of me even cares to fucking answer this with him. I'm just like over it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I checked out of this
Go
conversation.
look it
I
up,
don't know
bro.
what
No
he's
one
talking
can
about.
tell me one thing. Or for example, I wanted to talk about the wage gap. And that's literally what, bro. This.
I don't know.
I
Not
feel like
into
I'm
it.
talking with 5-year-olds.
I feel
No,
like
seriously.
no, you freak me out. Quite frankly, you give me bad vibes.
Okay.
Like I think you
I
should
understand.
probably.
I disagree with you. You're not a liberal. You're not a liberal
No, I'm
because
not a
you can't
liberal.
take another. So what are you?
I'm a leftist. But once again, that means different things in different countries. Where are you from?
No, I want not
Where are you
like
from?
that liberal. Like,
where are you from?
What does that matter?
It matters because we're talking about a country specifically not liking the women, and you won't tell me where you're from.
Let's say no. Like I'm talking globally.
Can you just
okay?
answer the question?
No, you did not.
Just answer the
why does that
question.
matter?
Can you
Why
hold
does
on?
that matter?
Hold on a second. There is 335 people in here. I don't understand how we are not at 100,000 likes. Also, there's $100 left in Alina's goal. I need you guys to stop embarrassing me. I don't. If you got $2, $5, whatever, she has Cash App and PayPal. If you have a Venmo for her, you can send it to me and I'll get it over to her. But you guys are being entertained the same way you pay for your Netflix and your Hulu. You got to pay for your entertainment. So please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. Thank y'all.
Tap the screen, everybody. Anyway, again, I'm talking as like someone who likes the United States. I believe the United States is probably one of the best countries in the world. I'm not from there, but I think that it's a great country, and I don't understand what's the problem with it. Like seriously, there is no like a single thing that women can actually do. For example, everybody also talking about the wage gap. That literally doesn't exist because it's illegal in every country, in every state in the United States. So basically, this is fake news. And besides, like all the thing that people say, this mostly are fake news. Like you couldn't tell me one thing that women can't do in the United States and men can. Hello. Oh, again,
Who
someone
was
in the
paying
chat
attention?
said.
Because it wasn't me, not me, not it.
Someone in the chat said unknowingly uninformed. So go ahead and inform me, please.
No, because you're a waste of time. Because honestly, you're not even listening.
I think Pika
Yeah,
sent out
because you don't
Baby
have what
Dragon
to
anyway.
say.
He did.
You don't
Do you
have
want
what
to
to
do it,
say.
Ren?
Hey Jake,
Yeah.
go get some education.
Thank you, Phil, for sending a sub.
So Dan, what do you want to contribute to this
I
conversation?
think I actually took a nap, like a standing, eyes open nap just now. That was wild.
I'm just curious as to how does USA not like women? Can you please explain?
How does the USA how do they like women?
Thank
They
you,
get
Phil, for the
treated great.
$5. Thank you, Joy, for the $10. Thank you, Chris, for the $5. Joy said, because I love you, and Ren said so. Chris said, I guess makes me want to bang my head on a wall. Agreed. And Anna Marie said $5 saying, I love your new hair. Thank you so much. Ren, if you don't want to answer that question, you don't have to.
Oh, what did he say? I wasn't listening. What happened?
He was doing the whole, like, I don't have my own argument, so tell me about your argument.
No, I'm not gonna answer that. He need to tell me why does the USA like women?
Thank you, Phil, for gifting
You
us.
already know how I get down. I won't answer that question. If you came up here, you're saying you disagree, you need to explain why you disagree.
I mean, if you're posting the point that USA does not like women, you have to explain why that is. I don't see any instant.
If I can answer this, we're not doing a classic debate. We're doing like have you ever seen that
Change My Mind
show?
Change your mind. I mean, there's nothing to back up your opinion. I mean, if you have that opinion, you have to say why that is.
With what you oppose.
Yeah.
There's nothing that has women unliked in USA. So, I mean, you'd have to explain why you think that point is. And there's nothing to back it
What's
up.
the opposite of a jump scare?
You have no argument.
What's the opposite of a jump scare? Because that's exactly what happened to me right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have no reason why the USA doesn't like women because it doesn't exist.
No, I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking in general.
Also, the opposite of a jump scare would be a positive thing, and that definitely wouldn't be.
Dan, my sister just said, if you don't agree, then why don't you explain to us why you do not agree with the statement?
It's that simple.
I just did, because there's nothing in the USA that has anything against women whatsoever.
Explain it.
So,
explain it.
Explain it. There's nothing to explain. There's nothing against women in the USA at all. So there's nothing to explain. Please explain your position.
First of all, the statement is the statement. You came in, which means that the burden of proof is on you. If you don't believe it, because you already know what everybody's standpoint is, because clearly we're here. If you don't believe that, then give detailed description about what is being said. It's not that hard. It's very simple. Just do it. No, it can't be explained. What do you mean it can't be explained?
You're correct. It is. You're correct. It is very
that's
very
my sister, y'all.
There is no proof that USA does not like women, and so that is based on you to prove that the USA doesn't like women. That's on your base to prove that the USA doesn't like women, not on me to show you that there's no evidence about it. So that's all on you. That's all on you to prove that. Even though you talk over people, doesn't mean you're right.
You're talking over her, actually.
It doesn't do anything. You have to prove what your basis is that USA doesn't like.
Shut up, Dan. Go ahead and finish. Shay.
Jalen, no, she's not allowed to have her own account. Ren said no.
No. This is my sister.
If somebody says a state.
Well, no, I thought you said that she would go off and get banned in a day.
For goodness sake, explain why you believe that's not the case. You constantly saying, "Oh no, it's nothing to explain." Well, clearly it's something to explain because we have this whole thing right here. So explain it. It's not that difficult. Or do you not have any talking?
Then please explain it. There is nothing in the USA whatsoever in laws or practices or anything that favors men over women. There's nothing that favors men over women. So please explain
You're gonna be
reproductive freedoms. Okay.
you're gonna be dense.
Okay. So women have
As
the
if we all
right
didn't just
to.
as if you wanted me to give you something, so I'm giving you something. You're still talking over me.
I'm listening.
Do you have parents? Did your parents teach you any manners or what? Or were you raised by
I
wolves?
said I'm listening.
Okay. So reproductive freedom. I know you're trying to be dense, but we've all been around for what's happened in the past few years. But even prior to Roe being overturned, we did not have the same reproductive freedom that men had.
How so?
That's one of many things. Because a man can go get a vasectomy any day of the week and not need the consent of his wife. And it's not the same for women. Women have to go to specific doctors. There's like running lists online to try to get their tubes tied without their husband's consent. Some doctors require them to wait till they're 30. Some doctors require you to wait until you have multiple kids. Like, we don't get to choose what we want to do with our bodies.
That
And
is
then now we're not
can
allowed
get-
to get permanent contracept, like we're not allowed to get permanent birth control methods. And then also now we can't get ABs.
There's
So
also
like sounds like forced birth to me.
That is totally untrue. So many things
Oh,
are
okay.
untrue. You can totally get your tubes tied without any male.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, you can get your tubes tied without a male telling you.
Put a 1 in the chat.
And
Put a
furthermore,
1 in the
you
chat.
can actually get an abortion without the male's approval. And
I guess you don't understand what that means.
I was still
unmute
talking.
again and you'll see what happens.
Kick me out because you don't want to actually.
You can leave yourself, man.
Put a 1 in the chat if you had difficulty finding a doctor to perform, or if you know someone that had difficulty finding a doctor to perform their tubal ligation or whatever. Thank you, Teresa, for the $10. Now we're down to 65. Yay! Okay, we're inching our way. I can't stay on for that much longer because it's already. I didn't realize it was already 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I have to leave by 20 minutes for Warhammer.
I'm sorry. I just came back.
Look at all those ones.
This is why I don't come in here. I get so irritated. Like my soul gets irritated.
She said her soul gets irritated.
I love her. I love her. I
feel like we needed that. Yeah.
The logic, just don't be logicking, man. Like, do y'all not understand? It's just words. It's word vomit.
Hello.
No substance.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Hey.
Kristen, is your boss a communist?
U.S. Marine, is that what your name is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you're military, that means you should have a little bit of impulse control and decorum, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I think Tyler was the one over talking.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I think it was Tyler.
Okay, it wasn't you over talking, it was Tyler. Okay, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, do you have a daughter who's in the Air Force? Am I remembering this?
I have a daughter that's a Marine Corps pilot.
Okay, thank you. It's been a minute since I've seen you around here, so just hold tight real quick because I feel like Tyler's going to be a dickhead.
Yep. That's cool.
What's up, Tyler?
Disagree with the background?
Yeah,
well,
I
I've
am
seen previous content, Kristen, and from what I can tell, you're a communist.
I am.
Is your boss a communist?
Boss. I don't even know.
Are you part of a union?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the subject, though.
Okay. So the U.S. loves women. They certainly do. Because women, they have more opportunities than any other nation in the world.
That's also not
Phil
true.
sent another $5. I'm sorry. The you know how the email messages they'll group together, so I didn't see the other one that you sent. But Phil said the fact that we have hiring practices and fair labor laws to make sure we don't discriminate women in hiring and maintain their position when they come back from maternity leave, while still having a gender pay gap and misrepresentation of leadership roles, means the USA doesn't love women.
All right.
Agreed.
Can I speak from a military point? So I'm a 22-year retired Marine, 4 combat tours. My daughter is a pilot in the United States Marine Corps. How do we not love women, or we don't like women? My daughter's flying it. Okay, my daughter's flying an FA-18. I'm confused, but
US Marine, though, the last time you came here and we talked about this, You left the
Yeah.
conversation agreeing that the USA doesn't like women. So what happened since we last spoke?
No, I never said that the USA doesn't like women.
My sister just asked a really interesting point. What does your daughter flying F-18s have to do with the USA liking or not liking women?
Guess what?
Well,
Chris, were you the one that talked to him? I
And
forget who
she,
talked to him.
Black people
and
was in the
wait, and
military.
my sister just said very perfectly. She said black people serve in the military, and the USA don't like black people.
Yes.
So,
What?
yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
I said black people have served in the military too, and the USA
Correct.
the USA doesn't like black people.
I'm sorry. In the United States Marine Corps, in my 22 years of service, I have never seen one instance in my life, and there are a lot of black Marines, white Marines, Hispanic Marines, that they were ever discriminated against in my entire military career.
Are you a white man?
I'm sorry.
I am Caucasian.
Yes, you're not experiencing it.
Can I say something, please?
I'm not ma'am. I have 22 years in the United States Marine Corps.
We all have jobs. I don't care.
I just just listen for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Black people had to go to war and then come home and still be discriminated. They still did all the things they fought and still had all these problems when they
Not in my era.
You may
not in
not
in my era. Not in my era.
This is crazy.
Maybe that's a privilege for you, but it's still there, unfortunately.
Not a privilege, ma'am.
Sure, buddy.
Thank you, Lanati, for the $15 for
Not
Mr.
a
Softy.
privilege.
And thank you, Ashley, for the $5 for Tylenol. It's gonna have to be Excedrin migraine.
A privilege.
Yes. Do you understand what privilege is?
I served with every race, creed, color, religion, across the board.
Do you understand what privilege is?
Kristen literally walked away. She said, bye-bye.
So now you're saying that the Marine Corps is racist?
I didn't say the Marine Corps was racist. We said that the USA doesn't like black people, and serving in the military does not change that fact.
Oh my God, that's so not true. I have met many officers and enlisted personnel.
Is he missing the point here? Or
no, I guess I might be. I might be because in my time in service, I have met many black Marine Corps officers, full commissioned officers, highly senior staff NCOs that were black.
The military, are you saying that what happens in the military? I'm not going to argue whether the military is racist or not because I have heard stories, but you're not going to hear that. So anyway.
Okay.
But are you saying that what happens in the military is indicative of the whole country?
What happens in the no, I will not say that.
Okay, then. So like I said, just because something happens in the military does not automatically mean that the USA as a whole operates the same way. You're proving my point.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize Mal was still asleep behind me. Good play.
So, like, geez, just because your daughter is able to fly planes in the military does not mean that the USA as a whole likes women. You're conflating two things that do not go together.
So you really think that the United States of America does not like women?
Yes.
We talked about this last time.
There are female senators, congressmen, lawyers, doctors. I mean, really? Really?
Hey.
Come on, man. Do better. You got to do better. You got to do better.
Do better because you don't listen.
I'm doing better, ma'am.
Get you out your ear and listen.
I'm listening, ma'am.
You're not, though.
I am, ma'am.
So you're saying that women have all the exact same rights and everything. We're paid the same. We're treated the same. Everything. That's what you're saying.
That the question is that's
That
not the question.
That was a yes or no question.
The question is,
what you not gonna do is disrespect me. That's what you not gonna do. It was a yes or no question. So your answer should be yes or no, and then follow up with whatever you want to say. But one thing you're not going to do is disrespect me.
I am not disrespecting you, and the question on the panel that the United States of America doesn't like women.
Mm-hmm.
A question.
And that is absolutely not true. And if you keep on muting me, and you can mute, if you can mute me,
you need to
it's because you can mute me, and then I'll just get out of here. It's not a problem.
Just do it then. We don't care. Like, you're not being open about anything. So
I am being very open. I'm being very open. I am all for females. When I was in Iraq, we had female helicopter pilots.
That's great.
Female
now,
what?
if you
female dogs, female kangaroos, female what?
Female pilots.
So you mean women pilots?
Yes, women.
Yeah, we had this talk last time.
Pilots. Yeah, we did.
I've been having these conversations with him for at least 4 years that I can recall.
4 years.
Still,
I don't remember that, but
yeah,
God
you've
bless
filled
you.
this up at least 4 years, man. Is your name Michael?
Correct.
You are burned into my brain because we've done this so many times.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
That is terrible. That means you don't know anything.
Fucking hate man. I hate him.
Hit me.
The fact that you're saying you hate men as you're in the house with a man is hilarious.
I don't hate anyone.
I feel that. I don't like men either.
No, Ren, the feeling is it's very mutual between the both of us, trust me.
We know.
No, that's best Nicholas.
Oh, okay.
The best.
He said he don't like men either.
No, every fucking day I'm further and further disappointed by my own gender.
God, I got a golden ticket.
Like me.
I never said I didn't like you. I never said I didn't like anyone here.
It's a shot glass worth.
Hey, U.S. Marine, what's your BAC?
Wait, hold on. Michael's using his kid service.
What's your BAC?
What's my BAC?
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely not the same U.S. Marine that Chris talked to last time.
Is it
Wait,
Ice
hold on,
House,
hold on.
Bud Light, Coors Light, Natty Ice? What is it?
I'm muted.
My beverage of choice is strictly Budweiser.
Have you had some today?
No, ma'am. But after this live, I probably will have a few.
When did Guy leave?
What? And what does that matter?
Oh, because you no reason. Anyway.
Because what?
I decided not to. I'm not going to say what I was thinking. I'm just going to behave myself and move on.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Much respect.
Anyway, so you.
That's great. That's diabolical.
She been talking to him for 4 years.
Yeah, that's diabolical, man.
But I don't understand for the life of me how you can say that the USA does like women, but you can't provide any reason other than the military how they do.
No, I'm looking at across the board: doctors, lawyers, accountants, congresswomen,
women surgeons are paid less. Women surgeons are paid less.
Come on, man.
Have better outcomes.
Is this what you guys are hinging on? Is that the United States doesn't like women? That's what you're hinging on right now.
Women surgeons are paid less money and have better outcomes.
I think you need to find a different topic because it's bullshit.
You're bull.
Who's the press secretary for Donald Trump right now? Female. Female.
Can you let us answer?
Female.
Because we're still only like 26% of.
Female.
Okay.
The word is woman, you
Female.
fucking
And
dumbass.
men still talk over women every time. It's crazy. I don't know why.
I bet you the guy that's.
Like, here's how much I remember.
I bet you the
how
dude that's
dense
talking.
You are, U.S. Marine. I know.
I bet you
that
the
you didn't
dude
raise your own
that's
daughter.
talking
I remember.
paints
that.
his fingernails.
The dude that's talking is
Yeah, I
also a
remember that.
14-year Army veteran with 4 combat deployments under his fucking belt, so he at least has the wherewithal to recognize when things are being said are factually accurate.
I would look up sexual assault rates too. I think that's.
I was a SARC in the military. I was an instructor in the military. I was in the Army for 14 fucking years, dumbass.
Want to be on cute boy cam?
Like, this shit exists. Look some shit the fuck up. Open a goddamn book. Learn to fucking read. Because clearly your fucking ASVAB score wasn't high enough for you to get anything to that fucking rock you have for a goddamn head.
God, you're cute.
Jesus fucking Christ. The word is woman. It's not female. It's woman. It's woman. Get it through your fucking head.
Thank you, Thickness.
Hey, Thickless, you just gained a new fan over here in my home.
Yeah.
You just
Ren's sister's like ultimate.
Oh, I could hear Ren's sister like
Really?
yeah, going off when I was in there a minute ago.
She can share. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I've been doing this for what, 10 minutes? I'm annoyed. Like, I want to go punch a wall. I want to just go outside with a baseball bat and just hit random men in the knees. I can't.
Mute.
I don't want to do that.
No.
Okay. U.S. Marine, you don't seem like you're operating in good faith here.
I'm
Because
into the Army guy. I also have.
Yeah, I love how your
combat
fucking
tools.
tone changed immediately.
Yeah.
And I am a chief warrant officer.
I don't give a fuck.
How you doing? I know you don't. I know.
So, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I was in E5.
We still have 40 in the goal, y'all. Please, God. It's 7:30. Because he won't leave, I'm going to tell you that right now. He won't leave. He'll just stay here. He has nothing else to do.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to end the live.
Come up on these panels over and over again, and we've explained to you how women are impacted. And as someone who's in the military, or has been in the military, I would think you care about protecting citizens. We are also humans and citizens, and women are not fairly treated. And I don't know how hard that is to understand.
No, I'm not okay midnight. I gotta end the live.
Exactly. We're talking about our very real subjugation, the harm, and you're going up. It's helpful. Thank you. Thank you for furthering the disrespect. Black Wolf says you've got to earn respect in the ranks. I don't. Okay. Elena, you want to take a pause, boo? Oh, let's talk it over.
No, I gotta go.
Okay. I love you.
Like Chinese boys with the clip tag. Show it up and make a fight for my Super Bowl song because them a big dog. I saw you disappear as if I never did ban. We know a couple killer, we know there's a sing song. With the people your mother tell you keep from. Super Bowl full of bombs like Islam. Everywhere me carry come in the enemy, them a pray, I mean, nah, sorry for me. People are bad and I speak away bad than me, but they can't see.
This is Super Bowl of your gangster that control.
Make them have experience, no gravity. What you say? Make it play? Roll on. Tell her pussy when I laugh, when I take talk. But you lay super goal and you dead dog. You shoulda keep in your bed, guys. Super goal them I make quack. When I laugh, when I take talk.
Hey, hey. Man, I shoot and I score Steph Curry. Point for the foot for the chef hurry. Soap and goal, can't hear me. What me say? Yo, we in a top farm. Louis V don't no fat farm. In a smaddy down to the Dan gun. Soup and gold, top farm. Yeah, you fuck up any platform. Buy a couple things to keep the black warm. Soup and gold, top.
God. Super goal killer song boy. Mad super goal. Killer song daily. Shot them with the cake here.
Bumba clap. Tired.
All right. Big up everybody on the live. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you for the shares. Boy, I told you earlier, I'll take questions. If anybody have any questions for me, let me know and I will answer them now, all right? I know people always ask me questions during the live and I don't get to answer them because I'm juggling. What kind of speakers are you using? I'm just using a very small monitor. I'm not even using a real speaker for this. It's just a very small studio monitor that I'm using. So, yeah, that's what it is. A small studio monitor. I will show it to you if you want to see it right here. That's all I'm using. This little Pioneer DJ, little small studio monitor. Yeah? Anybody else have any questions? Thank you, 641. What other questions y'all got for me? How long you been playing? You're far better than most. Thank you, Ty. Ty, I actually just learned to play during COVID. I've only been outside playing for a few years, so I'm very, very young DJ. I'm still learning, but I love it. And it's my passion. So thank you for everything. And thank you for that Cash App. I appreciate that for sure. I really love that. You just bought a DDJ Rev 5. Well, really, it depends what you want the speakers for. I mean, do you want the speakers for your house or you want the speakers to play in banquet halls? You know, speakers, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation with speakers. You got to decide what you want the speakers for. If you book me, do you need to supply the music equipment? That's a good question. If you are in Chicago, you do not, but my price is different. If I need the music equipment supplied, the price is different, of course, all right? If I just bring my laptop, it's one price. If I have to bring speakers, it's something else. It's the next price, all right? So if you want to book me somewhere else that's I have to fly to, then yes, you do have to supply the music equipment because all I fly with is my laptop. Okay? Sorry, y'all, my nail popped off during the live, so I'm trying to file it down to put it back on. If you book me, I read that already. Thanks for the follows, guys. You'll be using it for live. Oh, okay. For lives, you don't even really need speaker. You just get an iRig and you attach the iRig straight into your